Welcome to Inside Communications Radio, presented by Media Training Worldwide. I'm Mike Bako, and today we're joined by Gershon Candola. Gershon, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Mike. How are you? Thanks for inviting me.
No problem at all. You could find more of Gershon's writing at meetsharn.com. And today, Gershon, you're going to take us inside the world of Pinterest. We've heard, especially in the last few weeks, so much about it. It's the hot new social media website. But for the uninitiated, tell us just a little bit about what we could find on Pinterest.
Well, I guess Pinterest was set up a couple of years ago now, but over the last few months, it certainly has been gaining momentum, in particular due to Hitwise listing them as one of the top 10 social networks. And the interesting thing was, when they listed them, they beat out Google Plus, which piqued my interest, so I started poking around to see what it is. Essentially, what Pinterest lets you do is set up boards, sort of like the inspiration boards you might have in your office, or a design board for your living room layout or that sort of thing. But this is all done online. So what Pinterest lets you do is grab images from anywhere off of the web and post them onto your own board. So it's just a way to virtually have all of those little inspiring things together in one place.
And you mentioned since November of 2011, just shooting up the social media ranks. You mentioned it's currently getting 30 million total views from that time, so certainly blowing up. How can people use this website, or how have they been using it in terms of communicating and connecting with other people? You mentioned these boards, but it's a great way to share ideas, share products, share the things that you're interested in.
It is a great way. There are a lot of different uses I've seen on Pinterest. For individuals, I've seen, anything from wedding planning, home decor, just other things that are just of interest to people, just sort of random things, funny things, that sort of, daily diversions, that sort of thing. I've also seen businesses such as Whole Foods, for example, has a great Pinterest site or page with a number of boards on there that they've categorized into different areas such as recipes and various health-related topics and things like that. And the interesting thing that Whole Foods does is they allow other visitors to contribute to their boards. So myself, if I were to go to Whole Foods' Pinterest, I could go on there and I could add, here's another recipe for squash or whatever have you, and share that with their customers. So I think that's a very interesting way that Whole Foods is using it. The possibilities are endless, really. And one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately is just in a work setting. If you're working on a long-term project, perhaps Pinterest is a good way to collaborate with other people. Just a place to dump those ideas, a place to go back to later and kind of dig through and see what works and what doesn't.
Do you think that, this world of social media, do you think there will become a fatigue after a certain point? Obviously, people are on Facebook. Certain people are on Twitter. People in the business world are on LinkedIn. Are we being inundated with too much social media places, or is this just another example that we can't get enough? This website has sort of come out of nowhere. It's been around for a few years, but being in the mindset of so many young women and women really using this website, do you see that as the future in terms of that we're just going to be adding layer on top of layer of social media sites to our diet?
Well, really what I think is happening is we're changing, what we want. So, yes, it's another social media site. It's a new thing right now for a lot of people, and we'll explore it and we'll figure it out. And just like every other social media site like Facebook or Twitter, it'll evolve too, I'm sure of that. So that's the thing with social media. It's always evolving, and people are constantly evolving. So I don't think we'll really drain out, to say, but certainly it won't be the same, 2 years from now is what it is today.
What are some of the ways that you're using Pinterest?
For me, I've got it set up. I've got, on my blog, I kind of try to highlight a couple of things, a couple of categories, I should say, related to technology, the digital world, and social media. So I've set up my pin boards that way. So whatever I find online that I think is interesting, that I want to share with other people, that sort of thing, I plug them up there, and then I've got this sort of default other category where I just, sometimes you just find that random picture or something like that that's interesting, and, you want to hang on to it or share it with others, so I have that sort of default sort of secondary board that I throw everything else into. The other thing I want to mention is with Pinterest, it's not just images that are posted up there. You can also post videos, so that's really cool. And in addition to that, clicking on any image will take you to the link. Like, you can put a link behind that, right? So it isn't just a display of images, but certainly you can go in deeper and link to the blog post that's behind that image, or the website, or the application, or anything like that. So you certainly can dig deeper. It's more than just a screen with pictures.
And the website that you could find out more information about our guest Gershon at is meetgershon.com. You've been listening to Inside Communications Radio. Gershon, thanks so much for giving us a little bit more insight into Pinterest. I'm sure this is going to be a developing stories in the months and probably years to come, and people can find out more information again on meetsharn.com. Gershon, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.